Preschool! Good to see everyone again. So, I have a really serious question. Have you ever had just a really horrible, terrible, bad day where you wake up and nothing is going right, and throughout the day things just get worse and worse and worse? Because it happens to me too. And I know being home and not really being able to go a lot of places can make that just a little bit worse. So today, keeping that in mind, I want to read Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. But then hang tight, because after the book, I would love to brainstorm some ideas to help you and to help me if there is another bad day in our future.
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Written by Judith Viorst. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car in his breakfast cereal box. Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seat by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to get car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off on the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to get in the car, Anthony made me fall over where it was muddy, and when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with a car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He said, "Don't fool around with his phone." But I think I called Australia. My dad said, "Please don't pick him up anymore." It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marbles went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia.
That was a good book, right? When I was younger, this also was one of my favorite books. Probably because even me, Mr. Kyle, I used to have my fair share of really bad days. So I wanted to brainstorm with everyone about some ways that you can help yourself and those around you if you're having a bad day or if someone else is having a bad day. I know we've already talked about having that cozy space, but really remember that cozy space, just like our classroom, should never be closed. It's always a place where you can go, you can breathe, you can relax, you can think about and reflect about all those things that maybe just aren't going right. And then really when you're there, or if you can't find that space, think about your breathing. And how that breathing can really slow your body down and you can feel better and calm. I also want you to think about what are the things that are making a bad day a bad day? Are they big? Are they small? And maybe some other solutions are putting some food in your belly. When you do not have good food in your belly, life can be pretty stressful. Little things become big things. Think about, are you drinking enough water? Being hydrated can really help you have a better day and get you out of some tough times. And then think about as well, am I tired? Did I sleep well last night? Do I need to lie down and take a little nap and get cozy for a while? And doing all those things, cozy space, breathing, eating, drinking, sleeping, and making sure that your whole body is all put together is really going to help if you also have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. But also remember, sometimes those days just happen. Bye everyone, have a good day, and if you are having a bad day, I hope that it's a really short bad day.